Wait a moment. Before we begin, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever lost something that was very important to you? Maybe a special piece of jewelry, a photo filled with precious memories, or even an object with great meaning in your life. Do you remember how you felt at that moment? The desperation, the anxiety, the need to search every corner until you found it. Now imagine that what you lost was not just an object, but something even more valuable. Today, I want to tell you a story that Jesus taught his disciples, a parable that shows us how much we mean to God and the immense love he has for each of us. But before we begin, I want us to do something together. Think about the most valuable thing you've ever lost and whether you were able to find it. Share your story in the comments, because I'd love to read it. Now, let's take a moment to pray together. Lord, today we come before you with open hearts. We ask that you help us understand the incredible love you have for each of us. May this story remind us that even when we stray, you always seek us with patience and love. Help us hear your voice and feel your presence. Amen. Now, listen carefully to the parable of the lost coin. One day, Jesus wanted to teach his followers how valuable they are to God. So, he told them this story. Imagine a woman who has 10 silver coins. To her, each coin is very special, not just for its material value, but because it represents her security, her hard work, and her livelihood. But one day, she realizes something terrible. She has lost one of her coins. What would she do in this situation? Would she simply give up and forget about the coin? Of course not. To her, that coin is too important. So, without hesitation, she lights a lamp, takes a broom, and begins searching carefully in every corner of her house. Picture the woman moving furniture, checking under the table, between the cushions, in every corner of the floor. Her eyes never stop scanning. She doesn't give up. She knows the coin is there somewhere, and she won't rest until she finds it. Finally, after much effort, she sees it. There it is, in a dark corner, covered in dust. The woman feels overwhelming joy. She has found what was lost. And her happiness is so great that she cannot keep it to herself. She runs to call her friends and neighbors and says, "Come celebrate with me. I have found the coin I lost." Jesus ended this parable with a powerful message. In the same way, there is great joy in heaven when a sinner repents and turns back to God. But what does this story really mean? This parable teaches us that you and I are that lost coin. Maybe at some point in your life, you have felt lost, far from God, as if you were in a dark corner with no hope. But here's the most incredible truth. God never gives up on you. Just as the woman searched for her coin with total dedication, God seeks you with love and patience. He won't rest until he finds you, because to him, you are priceless. Every time someone turns back to God, there is a great celebration in heaven. It doesn't matter how far you think you've gone. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you've made. To God, you are always worth it, and there will always be a place for you in his heart. Now, I want you to think about this. Have you ever felt lost? How did you find your way back? I would love to read your story in the comments. And before you go, I have one request. If this story made you reflect, if it reminded you of God's love for you, make sure to like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to the channel for more stories that will transform your life. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.